Why do you want to become a professional poker player? YouTube, my name is Andreas, and in this video series it's going to be all about what to do to become a poker professional. And for me, the very first thing that has to be absolutely clear to you is, why do you want to do all this? Why do you want to become a poker professional in 2018? Is it really the best choice that you can make? And, you know, what is the end goal of becoming a poker professional? I became a professional poker player about 2 years ago. I quit a highly paid teaching job, which was very stable and had, you know, a guaranteed easy future for me in order to pursue being a poker player. And the question is, why would I do this? If you're in a similar situation right now, I advise you to do one thing. Take a piece of paper and a pen, sit down, take as much time as you need, and write the answers to the following questions. First thing is, what is your motivation behind playing poker? Is it about the money? Is it, you know, going to these awesome places like Las Vegas? Look at this, fire show is about to start back here in the Mirage. Or is it just about fame? Is it about becoming good at something, you know, the pursuit of mastery? Why would you want to become a poker professional? What are your motivations? Second thing is, no matter whether you are playing for the money or not, it's always going to be a factor whether you want to turn pro or not. So there's a couple of things that you need to answer right now in order to determine whether you want to go pro. And the first thing is, you want to make clear how much money you want to earn per year so that you can make a living out of it. Also write down in what games you're trying to do this, and if you're not at those stakes that you're trying to, you know, make a living out of it, then also set a time frame until you want to move up in the limit so that you can actually make a living playing poker. Another factor that's really important is how long you can go without making any money playing poker. Something that was really comforting is that 2 years ago is that I basically was sure that I can go for like 4 or 5 years without making any money playing poker professionally, and then, you know, I still had my teaching degree and I can use those skills, you know, whether it is in the exact same job that I was before or in another job, you know, to make a living in the future if things in poker go wrong. On the other hand, in order to have the most success in poker, I truly believe that cutting your bridges with whatever you're doing right now is going to be the only way to succeed at this game in 2018. All doesn't mean that you have to quit your job tomorrow and just go for poker. No, I really want you to make a plan for your poker career right now, answer those questions in this YouTube video again, and then trying to figure out, you know, what is going to be the optimal choice for you. Go through some of the motivations that you can have to become a poker professional. For example, maybe you're playing for fame. Now, if you want to become Daniel Negreanu or Phil Hellmuth, I have to warn you about what's happening in poker today. Back when these players were, you know, playing, the poker fields were actually quite small, and you were just one of a couple of hundred, you know, that could play those events back then and, you know, make yourself a name and also grow a bankroll, which was substantially easier, you know, 10, 15 years ago. The way that people become famous these days in poker is by playing poker tournaments. Now, the problem with that is that most poker tournaments are going to be huge fields such as the main event, and they're just super tough to win without having an insane amount of luck. It could be that you play these events for 10 years straight and just not do anything in that, even though you might be a really, really strong player. By now you might be already able to tell that, you know, trying to become famous at poker is definitely not the motivation that I would recommend to people to have in order to pursue playing poker professionally in 2018. Let's move on to another reason why you might want to play poker professionally, and that is just playing for the money. And recently I've got one example where this, in my opinion, went terribly wrong. So when you Google Comic-Con and Joe Ingram 1, you can find a podcast about a high-stakes PLO player. He's played heads up for a living for the last 5 years. He made about $7 million, but when you listen to him, he really feels somehow broken to me. You can judge it yourself, just do your research. But this is definitely one example where I think, you know, just playing for the money only went wrong. What should be the reason to play poker professionally? Well, in my opinion, it's going to be mastery. Try to become just really good at poker, and I think it's going to be, you know, having the best effect long term, and it keeps people in the game and happy playing poker for the longest. Let me sum it up for you. First of all, you have to really figure out your motivation to play poker. Is it for the money? Is it for fame? Or is it for, trying to become really good at it for mastery? So once you have that set, you also have to ask yourself, okay, how much money do you need playing this game? And also, how much money do you have right now to get into, playing poker professionally? If you just have like 3-4 months until you're broke, there's probably not a lot of reasons why you want to get into poker. Get another job, make a lot of money, try to improve at poker by studying a lot and not play that much. And then once you have enough money to take that risk, then you can get into poker. But before you have that, there's really no point in trying to risk and then having that time pressure, because your mindset is just going to be way too weak to play this game for a living if you just have a short time frame that, until you're broke. That's just not going to work out for you. For me, that made me make this transition to play poker professionally. First of all, it's definitely not about the money. When it comes to money short term, I should have just stayed in teaching, make a very good salary in Switzerland, and just basically grow my bankroll, or whatever you want to call it, that way. So if I just wanted to make the most money, I think teaching for 2, 3, 4 years would have been definitely the best. For me, it also hasn't been really about the fame. There's not really that many benefits that I see that are solely there to just become famous. The reason why I'm growing social media is because I want to influence people in a positive way and promote poker, the game that I love, to the people out there, and really tell the people that there's more to poker than just playing the game. You can pick up some quite useful skills that I think are going to be super beneficial for me in the future. I don't think this is a waste of time, regardless of for how many years I do that, unless I do it for the rest of my life. But if I do that, for example, for 10 years, I think whatever I am going to do next, I'm going to be much better at it because I am a poker player. I think just if you're staying sharp at the game and just constantly try to improve, you're going to be much better prepared for what's next. To become a poker professional for me was definitely the driving force in the end, and that's mastery. I've always been a numbers guy when I was a young kid. I was trying to figure out square until 999, trying to develop a system, how to get there, just trying to solve the puzzle. And when I discovered poker, I was immediately hooked to the game because it has so many elements, and then even paired with the psychological aspect of the game, trying to figure out people at the live poker tables, it's just something that had to basically attract me, and also made it very clear for me why I wanted to do this for a living. Let me ask you this: how would your life look like as a poker professional? Try to write it down on a piece of paper right now. Put it into words. Write a page about it. Really visualize what it would be to be like to become a poker professional. I hope that you guys enjoyed this first video about how to become a poker professional in 2018. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions regarding how to turn pro. There will be more episodes to follow that go into game selection, bankroll management, all the skills that you need to become a poker professional. So in the end, just make sure you answer all these questions that I asked you guys in this video, and then stay tuned for the next round. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down here if you want to get some more content on this topic. Thanks guys for watching. Move on to another example why you want to play poker professionally, and that is playing just for the money. And there's, for example, Kumikon, who was a high-stakes PLO player. He's a heads-up player. He made 7 million in the last 5 years or so. And you can watch his podcast with Joe Ingram. Just Google Kumikon and Joe Ingram. You can find his podcast on there. Also, it is not really for fame. I am not playing that many tournaments, or it is not anymore what I do for a living.
He's taking a selfie.
What? Hi, what's up?